How much experience do you have in React?
I have total of 4 years of experience in JavaScript and React.
Okay. So what is the React virtual DOM?
Uh, Actually, it's like the DOM tree that we use in that is in Google. Sorry, not Google, in browsers. So basically, what React does, it makes a copy of that DOM and use it as its virtual DOM. So whenever changes are required, so it first makes it in its virtual DOM, and after that, it compares it with real DOM.
Okay.
So it only changes that part of real DOM that needs to be changed.
Okay. And what are the features of React? Name any two or three.
Uh, it's
Like nowadays, many people use React instead of Angular or Vue. So what is the like purpose of using it? What is the benefit that we get?
The first one is that we have more control over our components. It is component based architecture. And second is hot reloading that plays major role in development. It boosts our development speed and a greater flexibility to design, because we can use components over and over at as many places we want.
Okay.
But,
Uh,
uh,
Now, can you please share the screen?
so is it visible to you?
Yes. Open it. Now, give me an example on how to pass data from parent to child and then from child to parent.
Okay, actually, in React, uh, data passing is only from parent to React, not sorry, parent to child, not from child to parent. But actually, what we can do, that we can create our variables or states or functions in parent component, and pass it as a props in child components. And in child components, we will use that props, and we will reflect that data on parent component, right?
Okay.
So yeah.
There are plenty of data. Yes, this one, but
So you can assume this as our parent component, this app component, and
yes.
there's some sort of text is visible over here. So let me create another child component.
First, you are showing from parent to child, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So now we will use this child component in our app component, that is parent component. So starting, we will import that. Child, but actually what we have missed that we have not exported it. Let me
Okay.
export this. After that, we will use it and okay. So now you can see
Yes.
our child component here. So let's say, let me use and state over here. Whilst sorry, let me take initial value as like parent data, and we will pass this state along with its setter function as a prop to our child component.
Okay.
We have passed this state as prop, and let me pass this setter function state. And along with this, let me print the content of this child data in our parent component. So you can see this state is now visible here, and
Yes.
we will change this data from our child components. So in that manner we can actually reset this variable by using this setter function of this state. So
Okay.
now here we will uh, let me take a button here. Yeah, button repair. Let's say pass data, and we will pass that parent component setter function as on changed value on this in box.
Okay.
So let me first extract that props that we have passed it. So it's here. Then we should not use this over here. And we will pass this as here. So
Yes.
Okay, now it's ready. So
Okay.
no. Actually, this was not an input field. So let me pass some static data over here, like child data. So whenever we click on this button, this parent data should be changed to child data. So let me click on this. Actually, it is not working.
Okay, then that way we will be passing from child to parent.
Yes. Sorry.
I think we missed something.
Yeah.
Yes.
One click. So now here you can see.
Okay, fine.
What? Yeah.
You can stop
In
sharing.
this way we can. Okay. Sure.
Okay, so what are higher order components in React?
High order components are those components that are used to modify some existing components. Let's say we have a component that needs special kind of data, or uh, special. Let's say we have an component which requires an common functionality as some other components have. So we will create an high order function, and we will write down those functions and data over there. And by using that high order component, we can manipulate our other components. We will provide all that common data to that component also. So we will need higher order component on in the cases where some common functionality is required over many components.
Okay.
Yeah, so by
And what is
higher order
okay?
component, we can reuse that logic over there.
Here, sure. What is prop drilling and how we can avoid it?
Prop drilling, as we have already did in that passing prop from parent to child. So whenever we pass any data or functions or anything from parent to child, that is called prop drilling. So suppose that we have created some functions or data in parent component. After that, we will pass those data or functions in child component as a props. So after that, we can also pass that function from our child components to inner child components. So this kind of drilling is known as props drilling. So we should avoid this because it will increase our complexity of the code. Basically, this is the reason. Because when our project grows, in that case, the developer may miss some things.
And
That's
what
why
we
can
need to
avoid
do
it.
to avoid it?
We can use a central states for data or some
Okay.
common JS files or custom hooks to use that.
Okay. So, like, what is the significance of keys in React that we use? Why do we always use keys?
Yes, actually, in React, what it does, every component, everything is denoted by its key. So every component should have its unique key. Suppose that we have list of items. So basically, what we do in React that we don't write that hard coded value and create. Suppose that we have eight items in a list. So
Okay.
we don't hard code that values. What we use that we use an dynamic value and use map function over there and uh, render a single component over and over. So in that case, keys are required to uniquely identify those components.
Okay.
And we also we should avoid like indexes and keys because
This is
when we increase or decrease the number of items into the list, then actually it took times to render those components with the different keys because indexes are changing continuously changing.
okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, what are the some of the performance optimization that you use like to enhance the performance of your React application?
There are several techniques that
Okay,
we
like
use.
any one or two that they use?
Like code splitting. First thing is this, the lazy loading, and
Okay, fine. What are synthetic events in React?
sorry, can you come again?
What are synthetic events in React?
Syn-
Synthetic events. Okay, let's go to the next. What do you understand by references in React? Ref.
refs.
Yes.
Actually, it is used to identify the components in the React. So the in functional React after 16, we are using use ref hook for creating refs, and we can attach those refs to any component that we want to refer. So basically, what ref does, ref will contain all the component code over there. So we can manipulate that particular components, events, and contents by using refs.
Okay. And what is the life cycle of a React component? Can you explain the life cycle?
Yes, life cycle. You can say that when React component starts mounting itself, when it's mounted, and when it's the components updated, and after that when component will unmount. So basically in that class based React component there were life cycles unnamed component dead mount, when component mount itself, after that component will update in case any other state changes. So in on that case, if you want to hit an API or do some API calls or anything, so that will uh, get used over there, and after that component will unmount. So the code written in component will unmount will be used on unmounting of that React component. So in functional React, there is an hook called use effect. So they minify all the component states into one hook, that is use effect.
Okay.
So in use effect hook, when components mount, use effect called. When we provide an empty dependency array, so in that case, the code written in use effect will executed once. And when we want to execute all those codes again, so we will pass then that state into that dependency array. So when that state gets changed, automatically use effect will be called again.
Okay.
And the function of component did unmount, it is basically written in use effect by returning a function. We will simply return a function which will contain some code. So on unmounting of that React component, that code will run.
Fine. Okay, now let's move to JavaScript. So what is null and undefined in JavaScript?
Null and undefined are basically kind of for data types in JavaScript. You can say.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the difference in both of them?
Null and undefined.
Yes.
Null is a value you can give to any variable or anything. Actually, and you can uh, give undefined as value also. But if a variable is declared and not been assigned by any data, then it will be undefined. That undefined will be automatically passed to that variable. And null is the primitive value that represent null, empty, or non-existence reference kind of thing.
Okay, and what are immediately invoked function expressions in JavaScript? For short,
Immediately improves, yeah, function. The functions that we actually what we do, that we create function and we call those functions over many places. So if we want any function to be created and immediately invoked, in that case we used immediately invoked functions, that is IIFE.
and what is the
So we
difference between double and triple equal to?
actually both are type checker, but in double equal to, it will check only for value. It is either string or number or anything. But in triple equal to, it will also check the type of that data. Let's say we have paused, for example, in a string, we have written 1 and we have used double equal to 1, that is integer. So it will give true. But if we use triple equal to, so in that case, the result will be false, because it will check for that data type also.
Okay. And can you like give me a simple way of removing duplicates from an array? Like if you can open the editor again,
Sure, let me share my screen.
like you have an array of string, you can take city's name.
And let's say this variable city's name. Okay.
Yes,
This will be an array. First one will be,
you take Delhi, Mumbai.
yeah. Right. So in this array,
Yes,
reference of Delhi, yeah, that
it's
is
true.
two there. So you want me to remove one from
Yes,
here, right?
I want a new array with unique uh, values. Um, each I read all.
Yes. Here you can see.
Okay, fine. You can stop
That,
sharing.
that means yeah.
So what is hosting in JavaScript?
Hosting is an term basically in JavaScript when a file starts to be executed. So before executing the first line of that file, hoisting happens. So in hoisting, what it does, uh, it will take all the declared variables in that JS files and move it to the top. And it will also take all the functions declared. It will move it to the top.
Okay.
So so in case of functions, if there is normal functions, all the functions body will also be moved at the top. So if we declare a function, and before declaring that function, if I have used that function, then that function will be called. But in case of variable, if we declared a function, it will be moved to the top of that file. But when it will get initialized at that point where we have initialized that, so we can use that variables also, but the value will be undefined over there.